The Poker Lounge is brought to you by FullTiltPoker.com.
Welcome to the Poker Lounge. 6 of the most incisive poker minds are with us tonight, and each of them will be trying to outwit the opposition to claim the $120,000 prize pot. At the table this evening, Jennifer Harman. Over the last 20 years, she's consistently been one of the best female players in the world and has 2 World Series of Poker bracelets to her name. Tony G, known for his aggressive style and trash talk at the table. He's won over $3 million in tournaments the world over. It's never dull when this man is at the poker table. Mike the Mouth Mattisau, also a legendary trash talker and winner of 3 World Series of Poker bracelets. They call him Jesus. It's Chris Ferguson, winner of 5 World Series of Poker bracelets. He's amassed over $8 million in tournament winnings. Our online qualifier tonight is Rashid Shafiq from Walthamstow in London. He's been playing poker for 10 years and once did a bungee jump from 300 feet above the River Thames. And finally, James Dempsey, winner of over $500,000 at the 2010 World Series of Poker, including a bracelet in a pot limit hold'em event. So that's tonight's lineup. Let's shuffle up and deal.
Thank you, Millie. Each of our players starts the game with $20,000, represented by $10,000 in chips and $10,000 in cash.
Oops. Oh, sorry.
Mike Mattisau chirping already.
Sorry. 8 of spades exposed. Pass.
And as well as chirping, reaching for chips.
Call.
For the first one, right?
Pass. Pass.
Rashid Shafiq folds from the button.
Call.
James Dempsey wants a look with his rag ace, and Jennifer Harman says, all right, we'll see a flop.
I didn't win one yesterday. I got
3
one
players.
There, right?
Dempsey has a gut shot draw. He'd need a deuce.
Bet 400.
And Jennifer Harman would need a 5 for a bigger straight.
Call. Pass.
I'm in a good mood now. God, I was dying a minute ago. Cool. It's a lot of mental things.
2 players.
2 minutes ago, like I was down death row.
Check.
Harman in position. How will she treat the young pretender?
Bet 700. Pass.
I'm in a good mood now. Hi, Jenny.
Oh my gosh, can you get back in a bad mood?
Jenny.
That way you don't talk.
So Jennifer Harman wins the first pot of the game.
But they, of course, they gave away their 60,000 in an hour. I got minus 2,000 or minus 3,000.
Exactly the same thing. We had 7 good players and 2 spots.
And then they replaced them with 2 great players. So I mean, it was like.
Pass.
I mean, I talked to a lot of people who had just unbelievable tables. One day they might.
It was odd.
One day they might do what I've been saying for years.
My second day was really
Raise
soft.
to
I like to
500.
take 200-300 players in the world that have played constantly tournaments and give them, put them on a point system by how they've done, and spread them, and then randomly put people in.
Seeding.
See, just like they do in tennis or golf or anything.
Seed it.
I just this way the table draws always people.
Call.
Yeah, you can't see it though.
Why not? It's the easiest thing in the world to do.
You
2
could
players.
physically seed it, but
By points.
yeah, but
Check.
why would you do that?
So everybody got a fair table draw.
But it's not fair, is it? Because if you're seeded, you're avoiding better players.
What about the
No.
internet players?
Bet 400.
No, but I'm talking if you're not ranked, you're going to get a random. Then it's random. But I'm talking about random.
Yeah,
Like,
but you're giving an advantage to people who are ranked.
you're giving what advantage?
You're saying you're going to make sure they're not on the same table.
No, let's say you take 300, or the top 300 players in the world, and they're ranked by points by how they've done in tournaments, okay?
Yeah, sure.
And they separate 300 tables, or let's just say...
Raise
That's what I
to
mean,
1,200.
let's just say there's 600 people in the tournament, so now you separate them,
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying it's...
And then you put the random ones in.
Yeah, but why should those people not have to play on a tough table? Basically, you're saying you're trying to separate good players. But why should
I'm
good
trying
players...
I'm trying to equal the seeding.
Harman calls with the up and
all
down
good players
draw.
Don't have to play with each other, and then another one player whose average gets 6 idiots.
And she's made it.
Where table draws 80% of poker.
That's how gambling works, isn't it?
No, but I'm saying you can make it. It can work. It can make it better.
Check.
I've never won a tournament where I've never had a good table. David Williams told me when he won the WPT
We
championship.
need to sit on the
2100.
table and start swapping out a lot of percentages based on who...
David Williams told me that when he won the WPT championship, he drew the best table every day. He said if
Well, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Pass.
well, yeah.
And not that Mike Mattisau will notice, but Jennifer Harman has taken that one down. Chris Ferguson got himself out of trouble.
$250 buy. I've
It'll
heard
be 100.
100.
Still 6 players here in the Poker Lounge in association with Full Tilt Poker.
They're gonna it's gonna be a lot like the PPL.
And Mike Mattisau still jabbering away.
Pass. Pass.
But it's gonna be
Pass.
players, and they're gonna have revenue sharing with the TV. I can't really talk about it.
Pass.
Shafiq calls in the small blind.
The World Team Poker.
Raise to 600.
That's fun.
I think it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna make money.
I think it will.
You could
That is
invest.
fun.
And he decides not to be scared off by James Flushy Dempsey.
2 players.
I like it. I mean,
I think it's
And
gonna be
they've both
great.
caught a piece of that. Bottom pair for Shafiq to act first,
They all break me.
but Dempsey has middle pair and an ace kicker.
Bet
That was like the
600.
best I played. Like I couldn't tell you how long either. And they're
I
like,
broke everybody.
Jen broke
You broke
everybody.
every
And they go,
stack.
Mike, you're the only stack still going. How big? You got a big stack. Okay, let's take you out since you're playing so well, and let's replace you with Phil Hellmuth, who dusted off 10. Jen did good though.
Bet
She
700.
Up 5. Eric Seidel built it back up to 40, and then we replaced it with who else
Me.
took us down?
Call.
No,
No, then
we
I-
finished you off.
I know,
They
I
replaced it
built
with
it.
Howard and Phil.
You're cut
No,
off.
I
You're
took
cut off
Eric's.
at
I
2 or
took
3.
Eric's place, and I did.
And that river gives Shafiq 2 pairs.
And then
That's the only stack
1500.
that I built up.
Then Howard no, actually it was Hellmuth that made that horrendous call with King Queen. Dusted off most of it, and then we put Howard in there, who blinded off the rest of most of it, and then we just put you in for the one hand to get cooler.
Dempsey hasn't been a believer so far.
All the other stacks about to let you bust that one.
That's right.
But that
You're
quick
the final
and
boss.
confident bet by our online qualifier Rashid
We're
Shafiq
getting real short laughs.
has given him more pause for thought.
And then picks up King 4
feel
diamonds.
bad
Right?
already.
He raises it on the button. Call, and the flop comes King.
Shafiq will be feeling a lot calmer now after securing his first pot.
2 hearts or whatever, and check.
Yeah.
But James Dempsey will know that he has wandered into a pretty tough poker school.
The Poker Lounge is brought to you by FullTiltPoker.com. The Poker Lounge is brought to you by FullTiltPoker.com.
Welcome back to the Poker Lounge. There's some immense talent around the table this evening, so we're expecting quite a game. Let's get back to the action.
The old Tony would have pulled the trigger.
Oh, I don't know. I just felt like it.
Cool, Jack.
Well done.
Jack went the
Pass.
same way.
Dempsey folds, and we're round to Harman with a raggy ace.
The old Mike would have called him. I don't know about the new Mike. The old Mike would have called
The
him.
old Mike,
It's not a matter of
the old Mike would have checked it. Tony would have bet it, and the old Mike would have said, "He's too greedy."
Pass.
Ah,
But now that he's over 30,
it's the truth.
You did well. I don't know. I just didn't like that queen. It got me.
Shafiq in the big blind calls with his low-suited cards.
Actually, the
3
old
players.
Mike's been coming back a little bit. He's working real hard.
Top pair for Shafiq,
Check.
middle pair for Harman, and a gut shot
2 years.
for Tony G.
Curving my image as being the biggest.
Harman continues her aggression.
100.
I'm using that now. The guy I hired as a mind coach is teaching me how to like
Pass.
open up and not use
I've
that
heard
as my
about this guy.
advantage. He's good. He does good mentally. I
The
like
reason I
him.
heard about him was I was playing someone who absolutely blew up, threw their cards and their chips everywhere, and then started talking about his mind coach. Clearly worth the money as you're ripping up cards and
I
throwing
know.
chips.
You get a lot of steam every
I
once in a
know
while.
one thing, you know.
Raise to
He
26.
started working with Phil Hellmuth. He made back-to-back WPT finals. He started working a week before David Williams won the WPT championship. He started working with Hassan Habib a week before the main event, and Hassan Habib played the short stack probably better than any human ever played a short stack in their life, and he finished 14th.
He did well, didn't he?
I mean, if he would have won 1 or 2 pots, I mean, he sat there and played 2 million.
He must have run real bad to get into the last 14 of a 8,000 runner tournament.
He only had.
If only he won a couple of pots.
How do you like this? He only doubled up twice showdowns from 72 to 14. That's picking your spots pretty good, if you ask me.
He has to get lucky not to run into hands there as well.
Double twice.
You must be bluffing at some point
Both
during
times he
that.
had big
No,
hands.
5 is double up. 5 should be.
He told me it was the best. He told me it was the best
3600.
he's ever played in his whole life.
Harmon must be realising she's probably in bad shape,
And he's all like, "Oh, I'm short. I'm just going to ship it."
and this pot is getting very expensive.
Like 400,000 and zipped it.
So
all.
the plan to sit there all day.
His plan was to play
put
hard,
that-
never give up, and grind it down. And he got $500,000 payday out of it.
You go there and play at
Pass.
the bike with him and take all his money. He's there all the time.
Oh, he's the best.
It's the end of the first round. Blinds are raised to 100 and 300. Round 2.
Jennifer Harmon not just having to listen to Mike Madison's war stories, looking a bit weary and shell-shocked herself.
That would be a good thing.
I can't wait.
Early days here in the Poker Lounge in association with Full Tilt Poker, and not much separation in the chip stacks yet between these 6 players. Mike the Mouth calls under the gun with his pair of 7s.
Us.
Round to Flushy, the young
Us.
English pro. He gets out of the way.
Us. Check.
Tony G from the big line says, let's peel one off.
2 players. Check.
And he goes in front with a pair of 10s. And now a flush draw as well for
400.
Tony.